Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Hobby Dad. Taking a look at Space Marine Adventures today. It is a fun game to play, doesn't take super long, and as a dad, it's something I can play with my kids that goes pretty quickly. It is a Space Marine game, so I mean, there's violence, but it's not graphic or anything, and I do play it with my 8-year-old daughter. Actually played it when she was 7. The way it plays, there are basically 3 missions. There's a bonus expansion kind of pack that goes with it too, that comes with it, which is nice. You don't have to go out and buy it. But it's like easy to play, and it's simple enough that I can have some fun, get my fix with a little tabletop kind of battle game that's set in a sci-fi dystopian future, which is right up my alley for things I like, and have some fun with my kids as I play. Probably one of the best things to me, especially playing with kids, is it's co-op. So it's not head to head. It's not me beating you. It's us working together to win. So I love that aspect of it. There are 5 different factions represented. We've got Ultramarines, Space Wolves, Blood Angels, Iron Fists, and Salamanders. If you're familiar with the Warhammer universe, you'll know all of those. The miniatures it only has miniatures for the actual Marines. The rest of them are just little chips, but that's okay. To me, it's great. It was like $20, I think, at Target when I bought it. I think I just saw it recently, like 24, 23 on Amazon. So you can still get this, even though it's a few years old now. So let's take a look, though, what you get. There's the box, and this one is Space Marine Adventures. I noticed that there's another one, but this is Space Marine Adventures Labyrinth of the Necrons. And so your enemy in this one is the Necrons. Comes with a little brochure for, different stuff to buy. We have the rule book, which, again, the rule book's pretty decent. Print out wise, it is decent enough paper quality that it's not going to tear easily. It should hold up to a few years of use. And as always, artwork and everything in these is excellent. The rules are pretty straightforward. Trying to think, there are maybe a couple times where we just kind of winged it, made our own. But again, playing with kids, that's not such a big deal. Especially being co-op, you're not worried about, is this fair to me? So we just kind of worked together and we made up some rules for a couple things. And we don't necessarily play it always by the rules anyway. Sometimes the item cards, if there's only 2 of us, we'll play literally with just 2 Marines, and we'll just equip them with a few more item cards, which I'll show you here in a second. So there's the rule book. Easy, simple to play, pretty small. Here are the tiles, the board that you get to play on. There are 3 tiles, but the nice thing is there are actually 6 different boards that you can run through. So we'll take a look at these first. They also come with little ramps to show the entryway, and so as you come onto the board, you'll come onto one of these. The exit is hidden, so you could have the exit say up here, but it will be hidden until you secure the gate. Gate's usually hooked up on this little symbol here. Kind of hard to see on my screen, but you put that, depending on the board, it might be in a different location. The board layouts are a little different to give it a little variety, which is nice. The entryways, again, are laid out a little differently depending on the board. But you'll start there. Each one of these little things is a teleporter, and that's where the bad guys start. You don't roll wounds or hits or anything for the bad guys. You only roll hits for your Space Marines. Again, so simplified. If you're looking for a crunchy game, this is not it. If you are looking for an easy game to play with your kids, or maybe to play with a significant other or a family member who's not really into crunchy games, this is a great one to play because it's super simple. Kind of what I call like the beer and chips, easy to play games that just are fun to be around with other people and roll some dice. So 3 of those, 3 different layouts. Entries and exits, just depending on what. So As you unlock this, you have to roll a 6. There's a little chip that goes in the middle that shows you that that is the control room for the hidden door. Each one of these will have a little chip that covers it up, and it's got a little symbol on it. As you unlock this control room, you flip them over, and only one of them has the actual entry or exit way on there. So, you know, like I said, it kind of makes it a nice little randomizer to have some fun with that. Back to the box for a few seconds here. We got this nice bag that comes with, you do get when they initially come, you have to bust them all out of their boards, but you get the little chips. We'll take a look at some of those. But again, they give you this nice little bag to put them in. And 3 different levels. So you've got level 1, level 2. Here's the expansion. Still haven't ever played the expansion, but it's supposed to add a little bit of a challenge to the game. So someday I will do that with my daughter. Here is the level 3. And what I love also about this game is you can play through one tile, 15 to 20, 30 minutes if you're really slow, and it's just fun. You can be done. You don't have to go through the end. If you continue on, like I said, it gets a little bit harder. The different rules for each one. So as you flip these cards, different numbers of the enemy come back on the board, and then like on the third one, there is the final boss battle. And so as you flip these, they have a variety of different rules on there that basically tell you how many Necrons are going to go on the board, which space they're going to go on, and if there are any special rules, like maybe the Necrons get a buff this turn that allows them to do or hit easier, or I think the buff is only to be harder to hit. So those are the 3 levels. We also have these cards, 4 different cards representing the 4 different Necron types of warriors in there, and one for, actually I should say there are 3. One for the really tough guy, the Lich Guard. Let's see, we got Lich Guard, and is the Overlord's most trusted servant, Lich Guard. You've got, and as you look at these, you notice that each one, the Immortal, they have a number on there. So simple. All you do is you roll one of these dice. Nice things, these dice are color-coded to the character you're playing, the little mini. And so all you have to do is to hit this guy and defeat it, roll a 4. Roll a 3. Now this one, a 5. That one is super tough, though. And so it does still. They all just have 1 wound for those 3. And then finally, there's the Necron Overlord. If you play all the way through to the level 3, he takes 6. He does have 3 wounds, too. So he's the only enemy that has more than a single wound. And so it kind of builds up to that big boss battle, which is fun. We have equipment cards here. These all have the same facing, but have differing abilities. Some of these are specific to the different factions, like this is an Ultramarine one, and so you'd have Ultramarines, you'd have the Space Wolves, you'd have all sorts of different types of ones. Ooh, these got mixed in here. Or no, these are, okay, so those are separate. I'll show you those in a second. But these are the item cards, a variety of different ones, different types. Like I said, the Iron Fist there's one for the Iron Fist, healing ones. And so you get items as you progress through. Actually, I think you start out with 1, 2. And then I think for each level you go through, you're supposed to get another one. I can't remember if there's a certain number you can have per time. These cards here, they represent the different factions. So if this card comes up, this is how they do initiative. You just shuffle them, pull randomly. That means the Space Marine goes. This means that you place Necrons. So you draw one of the cards here, place as many Necrons as it says, or do any special rules it has, and then you just go through the deck. There are 2 Space Marine cards for each faction. So that means each round you get 2 turns. And I don't remember how many of the space or the Necron cards there are, but it always seems like there are just a ton. So working through those, placing those down. The minis themselves, oh, let me go through these here really quick. These are the cards for the different Space Marines. The stats, so simple. Range of 8. So this one can shoot 8 squares on the little tile, on the little map. And you get 3 actions. Actions consist of move or shoot or activate. I guess there's really 3 if you get to the portal control room. The gate control room, you can do 3 actions. So basically you get 3 rolls, or a combination of a move and a roll, however you want. 3 actions. Most of them will have 3 actions. I shouldn't say most of them. A couple of them have 3 actions. A couple of them have 4 actions. And it looks like 3. The ranges will change. Space Wolves, each one has a special ability. Like Space Wolves, if they're up close, they get like a +1 on their roll to do a melee attack. I'm not going to go through all the different rules, but each one has their own little special rule that makes them kind of fun and unique to play too. Couple that with the item cards that are specific to their faction, kind of makes it fun if you can get those. So now to the minis. Mini quality is nice, just like you'd expect. It's not as good, obviously, as if you go buy the real sets that come in the packages for the board games. Not board games, but the Battletop games. But still nice. They are push to fit. I have not glued them. At some point I need to, because the heads are constantly falling out of them and they're starting to separate. But we've got, like I said, decent detail. They're fun to play with. Someday maybe I'll get around to painting them. But they are easy to assemble and ready to go, especially for people who aren't modelers. Push it together, you can play. And like I said, so as you work your way around the board, looking to get the control room activated and then exit, you will still just kind of have a lot of fun. You'll get backed up with enemies all around the board. And so I'll show you some of those chips right now. These ones are the minor ones, but say if it says place 1 on 3, I'd place 1 right there on 3. And they always start the board with random picks. You pull from the little bag, it's supposed to be random, and you just place them on the board like so on each one of those little teleport in spots. And then if I draw another 3, I get to place it on any of the connecting spots. So let's say I want to stop the Marines. Of course, you're going to place them optimally probably for you to not be effective. You don't want the Necrons to be too effective. But you could place it there. You could place it there. Let's say we place it there. And then let's say for some reason our Blood Angel was in the middle there. If I pull a 3 again and there's no available spots, that is when your character can take a wound. You only have 2 wounds. And those 2 wounds mean you take a wound, you flip your card over. And so if I'm this guy, I go from here, flip my card over to the wounded stats. Does it really change any of your stats? Does not really change much of anything other than if he takes another wound, you are dead. You only have 2 wounds in this game. The only way you can take a wound is if when they teleport in, they have to teleport to the spot you're standing on. There's no other adjacent or available spots. And so you do build out. I mean, if it pulled a 3, I couldn't just go to the next spot here because technically I have to go to the closest adjacent spot or the closest next one in line. And so right there, he'd take a wound. That'd be it though. I would just put that chip back in the bag and keep going. These are like the wound chips, I believe, for the Overlord. Here is one of the doorway blocking chips, and so it's got just a little symbol on it. This one is just one of the ones that is going to block it all the time. There is one in here that will, like I said, open up when you get to it. So here's another one that is just a blocking door one, and then that means this third one here is the one that conceals the exit. So you would put it here, get somebody to the control room, which is this little chip, Boom. And the control room has a special symbol that goes on every time. So you put them there, roll a d6. You've got to get a 6, although there is a card or a special ability by one of them that allows you to roll a 5 or a 6. And then you may flip these over. And again, when you flip them, only one of them has the exit way. And so here's the exit. Then you just want to get through to the exit and you're done. The Overlord, if you play the last one, is right here. You just flip the exit tile over when you get to it. And he is right there. So, kind of fun. And he's pretty tough, I'm not going to lie, especially when you're playing just 2 people. I guess we could play with, each of us running 2 of them. But I like the challenge with just 2 of us. Sometimes we die, and I like that. A little girl needs to understand you don't always win. And so what could we change, right, to do something a little differently, maybe have more success? And that's kind of it in a nutshell. I recommend this game at $20. It's super simplified, easy to play. You roll a d6. You get whatever it shows, unless there's a +1 or a -1 involved. And that's it. Fun to play, fun to spend time with your kids or other family members and not have to sit there and manage all sorts of different other stats and other crazy stuff like that. So, all right, hope you liked this video. If you like it, yeah, I'll say it. I'm getting to the point where it's like, hit that like and subscribe button. Just help me out, see if we can grow this channel and maybe upgrade these cameras that aren't so good. So thank you very much. Have a great day.